AI is changing wound assessment, and if you're still measuring wounds with a ruler and documenting what you see, you're already behind. You see, most of us were trained to assess wounds visually. We measure with rulers, we describe what we see, we document and move on. But there's technology now that can track changes we miss with the naked eye. AI wound assessment tools that measure wounds automatically, identify tissue types, and flag problems before they become critical. And it's already being used in wound care clinics, hospitals, home health, and long-term care facilities. For those who don't know me, my name is Dr. Cassandra Voltaire. I've assessed hundreds of wounds across different settings, places where time is limited, resources are tight, and you're juggling multiple patients while trying to figure out why that diabetic foot ulcer isn't healing. I've been in the trenches, and I've seen what happens when we miss early signs of deterioration, which is why in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what AI wound assessment looks like in real practice, how it works, what it can and can't do, and I'll share a case at the end where this technology caught a problem I completely missed and probably saved my patient from a stage 4 pressure injury. So whether you're a physician, nurse practitioner, nurse, or anyone involved in wound management, this video is for you. Let's get right into it. Let's start with what we're actually talking about. AI wound assessment is software, usually on a tablet or a smartphone, that uses a camera and computer algorithms to analyze wounds. So you take a picture of the wound and the AI measures it, identifies tissue types, tracks changes over time, and flags potential problems like infection or solid healing. Think of it as a second set of eyes that don't get tired, eyes that remember exactly what the wound looked like 2 weeks ago down to the millimeter. Now I know what you're thinking. Another piece of technology I have to learn. Another thing that's going to slow me down and not speed me up. I get it. But the reality is this technology is designed to save time. And more importantly, it's designed to catch things we miss. Let me give you an example. You're seeing a patient with a pressure injury on their heel. It's been there for 3 weeks. You remove the dressing. The wound bed looks clean, mostly red granulation tissue. There's some slough on the edges, and you measure 2.5 centimeters by 1.8 centimeter. So you document it, you redress it, and you move on to the next patient. Next week, you're back. You measure again, 2.4 centimeters by 1.9 centimeter. Is that progress? Is it the same? Did you measure from the same angle? Did you pull the skin the same way? You're not entirely sure. So you're right, no significant change, and keep going. But here's what you didn't see. The wound bed is slightly paler than last week. There's more slough forming it on one edge. The skin around the wound looks more fragile. These are early signs that healing is stalling, but they're subtle. And when you're managing multiple patients, subtle can get missed. This is where AI comes in. With AI wound assessment, you take a photo. The software measures the wound automatically, so length, width, and depth if you use a depth tool. It calculates the surface area. It identifies tissue types, so how much red granulation, how much yellow slough, how much black eschar. It tracks the condition of the surrounding skin, and then it compares that photo to the last one and the one before that. It shows you a trend line. It tells you this wound has decreased in size by 8% over 2 weeks, but the granulation tissue has decreased by 15%, and the slough has increased by 12%. Healing may be stalling. Suddenly, you're not guessing. You have data, you have a visual timeline, you have something concrete to discuss with your team or present to the patient's family. That's the value of AI in wound assessment. It doesn't replace your clinical judgment, it supports it. It gives you tools to see more clearly, document more accurately, and intervene earlier. So how does this actually work? Let me break it down. So step 1 is image capture. So use a smartphone or the tablet with the AI software installed. You position the camera over the wound, usually about 6 to 12 inches away. Most systems guide you with on-screen prompts, so move closer or hold steady, good angle. You take the photo, and some systems require a reference marker like a small sticker or ruler placed next to the wound so the AI knows the scale. Others use camera's depth sensors to calculate size automatically. Once the photo is taken, the AI analyzes it. It uses computer vision, so basically it's been trained on thousands of wound images to recognize patterns. It identifies the wound edges, and it breaks down the image into tissue types, red, yellow, black, pink. It measures dimensions as well, so it calculates the area and the volume, and all of this happens in seconds. The software then generates a report, so it might say something like, wound size is 4.2 by 3.1 centimeters, the tissue composition is 75% 5% granulation, 5% eschar, surrounding skin is intact, the mild redness. The change from last assessment is a decrease in 10% in size, increase in granulation by 5%. So this report is saved in the system. You can see the healing curves and you can spot when a wound stops improving. You can catch deterioration early. Some AI systems go further. They flag wounds that aren't healing as expected. They suggest interventions based on evidence-based protocols. They alert you if a wound shows signs of infection, like increased redness, new drainage, or rapid size increase. It's like having a wound care specialist looking over your shoulder, not telling you what to do, but giving you information to make better decisions. Now let's talk about why this matters across different care settings. So in a skilled nursing facility, you might be working with limited resources. You might not have a wound care specialist on staff every day. You might be relying on different nurses who don't know the patients as well. In an outpatient clinic, you're seeing patients every few weeks. Memory fades, details get lost. Was that wound 3 centimeters or 3.5 centimeters from last time? In home health, you're documenting in the field, often without great lighting or ideal conditions. AI wound assessment solves a lot of these problems across all these settings. So there's consistency. Every wound is assessed the same way every time. It doesn't matter who's doing the assessment. The AI uses the same criteria. It's accurate. Human measurement error is real. There are studies that show that manual wound measurements can vary by 20% or more between different clinicians. AI reduces that error significantly. There's early detection. AI can spot trends you might miss. So a wound that's been stable for 4 weeks might actually be slowly getting worse, but the changes are so gradual you didn't notice. The AI notices. Also, when you're discussing a wound with a colleague or consulting with a specialist, you're not just saying it looks worse. You're saying the wound has increased in size by 15% over the past week, slough has increased from 10% to 30%, and surrounding redness has expanded by 2 centimeters. I'm concerned about infection. Let me mention a few real products that are out there right now. There's Swift Medical, which is one of the most widely used. It's a mobile app that works on smartphones and tablets. So it does automatic measurement, tissue identification, and has solid tracking features. A lot of facilities use this one. There's Healthy.io, which is another mobile-based system. It's known for being user-friendly and integrating well with electronic health records. There's WoundZoom. This one is popular in home health and long-term care, so it focuses on simplicity and quick documentation. And there's Tissue Analytics, now part of NetHealth. This system uses a reference ticker for measurement and has a strong analytics system and reporting feature. Each system has its strengths. Some integrate better with your existing documentation system. Some are just easier to use. Some have better AI accuracy. The key is that they all do the same basic thing. They take the guesswork out of wound assessment. By the way, if you want to dive deeper into wound assessment tools, best practices, and case discussions like this, I have a community called the Wound Care Circle. It's a space where clinicians share real cases, ask questions, and learn together. Click the first link in the description to check it out. Let me tell you about a case that really drove this home for me. I was working with a patient, let's call her Mrs. P. She was 82, diabetic with limited mobility, and she had a stage 2 pressure injury on her sacrum. It had been there for about 6 weeks. We were treating it with a foam dressing and repositioning protocols, managing her nutrition, all the standard interventions. Every week I'd assess it, and every week I'd document wound stable, no significant change. The problem was that I was measuring it by hand. I was eyeballing the tissue, and because I was seeing her every other week, the changes were so gradual I didn't notice them. Then we started using an AI wound assessment system. I took a baseline photo of Miss Parker's wound, and the AI measured it, 3.8 by 2.9 centimeters. Tissue composition, 60% granulation, 40% slough. 2 weeks later, I took another photo. The AI said, wound size increased by 12%, granulation tissue decreased to 45%, slough increased to 55%. Healing trajectory is declining. I was surprised. I thought the wound was stable, but the data proved otherwise. I looked back at my notes, and I had documented that there wasn't a significant change for almost 4 weeks, but the wound had been slowly getting worse the whole time. I just couldn't see it with the naked eye. So I reassessed her care plan, and it turned out that her albumin had dropped. Her diabetes control had slipped. She wasn't getting enough protein. We adjusted her diet, tightened her blood sugar management, and switched to a more advanced dressing that promotes autolytic debridement. Within 3 weeks, the wound started improving. The AI showed it. The size was down by 18%, granulation up by 75%, and slough down to 15%. Miss Parker's wound eventually healed. But if we hadn't caught that decline early, it could have progressed to a stage 3 or 4. It could have led to infection, hospitalization, or worse. That case changed how I think about wound assessment. It taught me that our eyes, as good as they are, have limits, and that technology, when used correctly, can help us be better clinicians. But recognizing changes in a wound is only part of the solution. The real challenge is knowing what to do once you see the changes that took place, making sure to have the right approach. And there's an approach I've started using that simplifies this entire decision-making process. It's changed my patient's healing time in a major way. So watch this next video on the screen where I break down how to choose the right dressing for different wound types, because even the best assessment doesn't matter if your treatment plan is off. Stay informed and heal well.